So let's invite Professor David Simons to do the honors and the closing ceremony. Give him a rousing welcome. And I think you've seen enough of me, and thank you all very much for cooperating.
And that's a big round of applause for our moderator over the last 2 days, Honorable Sam Moyo. Thanks. Anyway, I'm sure you'll agree that we've had a very rich feast of ideas, information, making new connections, hopefully making new friendships. And much of the more detailed work is going to continue from now on after this, as it were, open part of the program concludes. And this afternoon and tomorrow, the various project teams for the comparative projects will be working together in intensive modes to take forward the agenda, or in some cases where the projects are still in their formative stages, to formulate those agendas and figure out the next steps, because we are on a fairly tight schedule over the next couple of years to make sure that we can actually achieve the objectives of delivering these comparative perspectives towards realizing just cities, which is, if you like, the leitmotif, the overarching theme and objective of our current second phase. Just a couple of specific details before we close. The afternoon workshops after lunch at 1:15. The transport group will be meeting in Lolwe room on the first floor. The waste group in the clip room, room 505, on this floor. And then the participatory cities and the finance, the urban finance groups, will be in partitions in the Shalimar room, which is where we had the opening evening dinner, again on this floor. So the transport group will just have to stay on the same level as the restaurant, and everybody else come back up here, please. In case you're in doubt, I think everybody did register for the workshops, and the ones that we have recorded as the ones you registered for are actually on your name badge, both for this afternoon and for tomorrow. If in doubt, it's also listed on the enrollment lists that you've got in your packs, or else talk to Ulrika or one of the other colleagues from the Secretariat. As you are well aware, we've been recording many aspects of the proceedings, and of course we've collected the PowerPoints. So within about a fortnight, these will be accessible from the Mistra Urban Futures website, and I encourage you to have a look, both if you want to sort of refresh your memory or if you missed a session, and of course please tell your various colleagues who for one reason or another couldn't be here, so they will also be able to share some of the proceedings and the insights from the conference. The list of thank yous is extremely long, and it's not possible to mention everybody by name because so many people, probably the majority in this room, have helped in one way or another in organizing this fabulous event, which follows very nicely from the launch conference in Gothenburg last year, and which gives credit to my colleagues in the Secretariat, and crucially to Prof. Stephen Agong and his team and the trustees here in Kisumu, not only for having put on such a splendid event, but crucially having had the courage and the determination to navigate a path through the turbulent political waters that were rocking the country for rather longer than we anticipated or indeed hoped. But somehow or other you managed to calm those troubled waters, at least for the time that we're all together here. And of course we hope it continues that way and that a negotiated way forward will be found. So, let me then go to the next little step. And I would like Stephen to present you with a small token of our appreciation on behalf of everybody and, of course, on behalf of your team in CLIP. Yeah, sure. Great, thanks. It's true that everybody at the head of a team normally has a right-hand man or woman. But to organize this successfully has required both a right-hand and a left-handed person. And incredibly, that person is the same for both sides, left and right. He's managed to cover both simultaneously. So, Alfred, please come up. Alfred or Tom. Look for the camera. The one thing I will not do is ask Alfred to tell us how many emails, Skypes, telephone calls, SMSs, and any other form of WhatsApp, FaceTime, and other communications we've had over the last 9 months or so, because it's incalculable. But it's all been to a good end. And finally, also, our host here at the Imperial Hotel, who is, as you heard in the welcome on Sunday night, also a key member of the trustees of CLIP, Munira Gilani, but I'm not sure if she's actually... Oh, she is, yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Again, without you, this wouldn't have been possible. Thank you. Now, we started a little tradition, we invented a tradition last year in Gothenburg, of handing over not the Olympic flame, but the Mistra Urban Futures metaphorical flame in terms of who is going to host the next conference. And so finally, I'm going to ask Stephen Agong, as the leader of the CLIP team hosting this year's conference, to hand over the metaphorical flame to Warren Smit and Rika Sitas, who will be anchoring next year's conference in Cape Town.
I want to take this opportunity really to appreciate David Simon for having worked so hard together with the Secretariat in Gothenburg and also CLIP here, so that this our function is a success. And David Simon, even though names may not be alluded to at this point, but allow me also just to say a big thank you to Ulrika. I know she was under stringent pressure. She would really not bother, but engage Alfred a lot and myself. And I have an envelope here, which has the flag. And on behalf of CLIP, I would like now to pass over this to Warren Smit, who is actually the Cape Town director. But it's an envelope, so when he opens it, it comes with responsibility. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you very much. We look very forward to hosting the next Mistra Urban Futures conference. We'll be in Cape Town on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of November 2018. And we hope as many people as possible will be able to attend that conference in Cape Town. So I don't know if you know Cape Town, but it's at the tip of Africa. It's the second biggest city in South Africa with about 4 million people. Very beautiful city, but also very fragmented and very inequitable. So the focus of the conference will be on just cities, which is a very crucial issue in our context. So I think it will be very appropriate to have it there. Yeah, so we look forward to seeing you there. Erica, say a few words.
No, just to echo that this has been a fantastic conference, and it's really exciting to be able to host everybody who can make it next year as well. Thanks.
That brings us to the end of the formal part of this conference, and we now have a food security issue to address. And I believe that as yesterday, there will be lunch tokens handed out at the door as you head down. So please, those of you who are continuing in the project workshops, be at your designated room promptly for the 1:15 start, and we'll take it from there. So once again, to one and all who've traveled from near and far, thank you so much, and it's been great to share the last couple of days with you.